Okay, so we're back for the examples of functions, and we're also going to talk about the vertical line test. If any vertical line intersects a graph in more than one point, the graph does not define a function. So this is where I bring in a spaghetti stick right here. And notice that wherever I put the spaghetti, it's only intersecting the graph at one point. So wherever I put it, it's just going to intersect that graph at one point. So that's why this is a function. So this parabola is a function. So you can say yes. The domain is all real numbers or all reals. And the range is from -2 to positive infinity. So that means that it's all real numbers greater than or equal to -2. So all the numbers that are bigger than -2. And we'll discuss the domain and range more in a couple of days when it comes to graphs. So let's take a look at this. This is a relation and we want to know if it's a function, so we have to look at the x's. If the x's are all the same, then it's not a function. But if their x's are all different, so here's an x, here's an x, here's an x, they're all different. So that means that this is a function. So 1, 3, 4, and 5 are all different numbers. So that means it is a function. The domain has to do with the x values. So we're going to do 1, 3, 4, 5. And we must list them in order, even if they are not in order in the relation up there. The range are the y values. So these are the x's and these are the y's. So the y's are 2, 4, and notice that there are 2 5s. So we only list one. We only list one of them. Okay. So we're going to move on to the mapping. This is a map. This is your input. This is your output. Notice that Tom is going out with Ebony. Luis is also going out with Ebony, but that's okay. Irvin's going out with Robin, and Mark is going out with Ansha. So this is a function, yes. Why? Because these names do not repeat. Like Tom is not going out with 2 people, okay? So these names right here do not repeat going out with more than one person. The domain are your x's, your input. So x's are input. So that means it's going to be Tom, Luis, Irvin, and Mark. And then the range are your y's. So it's going to be Ebony, Nina, Robin, and Ansha. So all of those are your y values. So let's talk about examples of non-functions. Okay, so non-functions. So notice that -2 is going out with 4. These are your inputs, in, out. Notice that -2 is going out with 4 and it's going out with 0. You cannot do that. X's cannot go out with more than one person or more than one number. So this is not a function. No, it's not a function. The domain are your inputs. So -2, -1, 0, 1. The range is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, but we're going to put them in order. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We must put them in order. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We have -1, 2, 2. Oh, look, 2 is going out with 4 and 5. So this is not a function. And then the domain is going to be -1, 2, and -3. So -3 is the smallest, so that's going to go there first. Then -1, then 2. Notice that we only write 2 one time because you only write it down one time. The range is going to be 1 is the smallest, and then 4, and then 5. So that's how you would write that. Okay, now let's take a look at this circle. We're going to do the vertical line test. So I'm going to put a spaghetti here. And notice how this line is going to intersect at 2 places. So it intersects right here and right here. So that means you cannot have that. That's a no. Okay, so then we're not going to talk about the domain and range of the graph just yet. We'll do that till in a couple of days, okay? So go ahead and go to the next page and you try these, okay? So go to the next, once you do that, I want you to go to video 3 to do these examples.